Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I am enjoying doing the scenario videos. I did one and we talked about using the radio. I'm going to do a lot more scenario videos. I'm hopefully going to get a couple of my buddies to help me. I think scenario videos are good. It might show you something that you haven't been thinking about, and it also lets me show you what it could actually be like in a survival situation. So instead of just doing whiteboard after whiteboard or teaching you how to do certain tasks, trying to put it into that mindset. Mindset is very important as a prepper. Try to put yourself in that situation. When you read a book, any of the new and awesome prepper books, there's so many good writers out there writing right now. Put yourself in that scenario. How would I do it? How would my group do it? Do I have the skills? Do I have the equipment? Do I have the willpower to do it and solve that problem that's in that book? But right now I want to talk about communication. Communication is very important for preppers. Probably the most overlooked. If we did a survey, how many people have a ham and a ham license? And the reason you need to get your license now is to practice and learn. You can get a ham and you just leave it in the box, but that's not the right answer. You need to practice with it and use it and get all the people in your group or in your area to practice. I want to talk about ComSet, or communication security. There's a few things you can do. People are going to be listening. The radios we use are not encrypted, so there's a few things we can do to make sure. You can use code words. You can definitely keep your broadcast quick and short. Definitely use low power. The more power you use, the farther that goes out. So use just enough power to get the message relayed to who you're trying to relay it. Another thing you can do is use directional antennas. So instead of shooting it out in 360 degrees, try to pinpoint where your person you want to receive the message and shoot it towards him. Probably the biggest thing that we don't really talk about as preppers is authentication tables. They can be very complicated, and don't make them complicated. Make them very easy. There's a couple methods here. I want to show them to you. What we're trying to do is verify who is on the other end of the radio, because it's very important. This one right here, don't worry about what's underneath that. That's a different way. This is just some random letters. And what we can do is, if I'm wanting to talk to you and I'm not sure if that's actually you or you're under duress, this is what I'm going to do. Random letters. I'm going to ask you to authenticate Quebec, Juliet, and you're going to come back with Bravo. Okay, authenticate this one, Delta, X-ray. It would be Charlie. It's always the one right next to it. Now, if you're under duress, you cannot speak what you want to speak, or someone actually has a gun on your head and they're making you say things. What you can do is, if I want to make sure that's you, I'm going to say authenticate Charlie, Lima. Now the right answer would be Oscar, but because you're surrounded by people, bad people, you're going to say Victor. So always use the one that's surrounding the two I said. Now if we do Charlie, Oscar, you have Victor or Lima. You can say either one, it doesn't matter. Now this you have to pre-make, give them out to people. If you live all close together, you can have them pre-made, so really no one has this one, and then a crisis happens, you can hand them out. While you're doing this, make sure you eliminate the right answer, because we don't want to repeat that. So, if you use the authentication, the answer would have been Charlie. Cross Charlie out, because we don't want the bad guys to listen, and then the next day with someone else in your group, they contact and they use the same one you did because they know the right answer. So you got to cross that out. So that means if you're doing that, is you're going to have a comm room. You're going to have to be set up. You're going to have to be taking the information down that's happening on your frequency, because if not, someone could trick you and just repeat what was said the day before. Another way is keywords. I like the keywords because right now, if you're a group, you can come up with 5 keywords. What we're trying to do is the long words and no repeating letter. Get on the internet now and copy down about 20, 30, 50 of them so you have them. The easiest thing with your group is come up with a funny saying that you can remember. It could be Republicans love pathfinders swimming at the beachfront. So you don't use all the little words, you use just the big words. So that way you got that in your head, it's never written down, and in a crisis situation, go ahead and next to your commo gear, write it down. So if you do have to authenticate something, you can do it quickly. Write it down on a whiteboard. Same thing, if you're using things, the right answer, mark it off so you won't be able to use that again. And if someone else uses it again, you can tell them, hey, you need a new authentication because that one was used yesterday, or it could be a bad guy. So let's do it this way. I like putting numbers here so I know what word it's going to be, and you can have as many words as you want. All right, so let's go right now. Please authenticate to Tango Foxtrot. And the right answer that you'll come back with is I, which would be India. Authenticate 1 Echo Lima. What's the right one? I for India. Or authenticate 1 Echo Charlie. The right answer is Alpha. Now if you're under duress, whatever they give you, use one of the ones in the middle. Make sure you cross it off. So it cannot be repeated. So eventually you're going to have to change your words, which is very easy to do. This will help you authenticate who's on the other end. Hopefully you know the person so you recognize his voice, but it's always good, especially with vital information. If they call me and say, you need to help me, you need to take your guys and go to this location because I'm being harassed, I need help, or take vital supplies. Before I do that, I'm going to ask for authentication. I want to know. Hopefully, if they're under duress, they're going to give me the wrong answer so I know, hey, they're under duress, so maybe we need to follow through, but be prepared for an ambush, or maybe we need to go put eyes on their retreat or their home because they are under duress. Practice this. It's very easy to do. You can change your words. I would basically have some practice words where your group can use every day, and then during a crisis you have your 5 words that you're only going to use in an emergency. Thanks for watching.